We're just leaving a popular port in the Caribbean. We chose not to get off today just because of the current situation here and our past experiences. So we're going to let you know why we wouldn't get off at this port and on this island. This is so cool, but also so windy at the same time. David's just had his little Titanic moment. Woof, it's windy. So let's skip forward a day to a sea day where we'll talk all about the port. Plus, stay tuned because we're going to visit another port. We actually go to hell. So ahoy there, cruisers. Yes, we're not going to be getting off on this port in a million years. This is for a number of different reasons. From the time that we were here last time where we had some horrible abuse and some nasty things happen to us which we just don't want to repeat, to the current situation on this island at this time, which, to be honest, even if we hadn't been here before, I probably wouldn't get off. So let's talk about all of that and get on with it, shall we? So first of all, you're probably wondering what port we're actually talking about. Now, we're talking about the port of Falmouth here in Jamaica. Now, there are a few different ports in Jamaica, so this really covers them all, really. It doesn't really matter what port you're in here in Jamaica.
One of the fun things that Royal Caribbean do is parades along the promenade. You get these on all the different types of ships, and on this one we're going to have the Royal Palooza. Looking forward to it. It's great fun for all the family.
Oh my gosh, what the heck was that? It was the Royal Palooza parade, but oh my gosh, it feels like I was tripping or something. It feels like maybe we did get off in Jamaica and smoke something, because that's what it feels like afterwards. It was quite fun though, guys. Everybody had a big smile on their faces. Lots of colourful costumes and dances. So it was funny. The poor performers, some of them looked mortified, like they were being forced to do it. Oh my gosh, so funny. Right, let's go find some lunch. I'm absolutely starving, so we're going to head to the main dining room and get some food.
Let's go. One of the great things about sea days is that the main dining room is open for lunch, and it's a great alternative to the buffet. It's just nice to sit down, relax, and have something a little bit fancier for lunch.
Holy moly, so that came very quick. We only ordered about 30 seconds ago. We're skipping appetizers because we have a meal at Giovanni's Italian tonight. You're going to want to stick by for that. We're going to compare it to Jamie's Italian. Usually it's much better. We've got the bread course, and I went for the chicken and waffles, and it looks lovely with a sweet sauce. I do love mixing up savoury and sweet. It's not very much a UK thing. You don't really tend to get this in the UK, like the sweet and savoury thing for a main course. So I'm excited for this. Let's have a little try, shall we? The chicken looks a bit small, got to say so, but hey, I was expecting a big lump of chicken on my plate, but I got 3 tiny little pebbles. Well, put me on wheels and call me a train. That's very strange indeed. I do like it. It's like a honey Tabasco sauce. The chicken's nice, the little that there is.
In contrast to your teeny tiny chicken, I got the world's biggest sandwich. Look at that. I mean, I know people say I've got a big mouth. I'm gonna squish it down. So it's a seafood sandwich, includes calamari, shrimp and fish in there. Bung it all in, and it comes with a spicy mayonnaise on the side. Very tasty. Comes on a brioche bun. That spiced mayonnaise is delicious, but really good. I like this.
We just did the ultimate Disney quiz. Oh my gosh, I have never ever seen a quiz so busy before. One of the best quizzes we've ever done. That was probably better than the Disney quizzes on Disney Cruise Line. So much fun, lots of different parts. It was a really good quiz where they actually thought about the questions and they were really awesome.
One of the funnest things on sea days is the kooky competitions they do around the pool deck. And this is a new one I've not seen on any other Royal Caribbean ship. You usually see the Mr. Sexy Legs competition and stuff like that. But this one is the international, yes I said international, world-renowned belly flop competition. Boy, there's some big bellies and they are flopping all over the place. It's just going on right now and it is hilarious. The whole ship seems to be getting involved. So much fun. Are you ready, Ben, for your go?
No, not happening, David. Nobody's getting to see my belly after all of that food. Oh my gosh, guys, that was hysterical. The last guy there caused a tsunami and took out 3 children. So that's 3 less children on the ship, I guess, which is a thumbs up from us. Just kidding. That was so much fun. Lots of fun things to do on sea days that you don't see on other days during the cruise. So make sure you go to them all because they're highly entertaining. So we came to the port of Falmouth in Jamaica actually on our first ever cruise, which is crazy. That's almost 10 years ago, and we didn't have the best of times. We booked a shore excursion, but before that we got off on port and had a quick look around. Whilst the port area is actually quite nice, it does have lots of shops and things that are seen on every other port. So things like Diamonds International, your normal tat, the hats, scarves, t-shirts, all of that which you get in every single port. It is actually quite nice. You can see it hasn't been there for that long and it's had a big old makeover and it's quite a pleasant port. But that wasn't the problem that we had. We kept being approached quite aggressively by men trying to sell us drugs. So weed and cocaine in particular, we were offered quite a few times. And usually we'd just brush them off and tell them to go away. But they were quite aggressive in some terms as well, asking us if we wanted some, why don't we want to buy some? And we kept obviously refusing. Maybe it's because we were 2 men and they were thinking, oh my gosh, these guys just want to take drugs, which we absolutely do not. We never have and we never will do. But that's not the point. One of the guys actually threw some homophobic slang towards us as well and said something really nasty, and it kind of just threw us off for the whole day. That and the over aggressive people who kept trying to get us to buy drugs in particular, it just wasn't pleasant at all. But the story went on from there. So then we got on to our shore excursion. Now it was about an hour-and-a-half journey to this. It was the Duns River Waterfalls, a really long distance, but it was actually a really good excursion. We actually really enjoyed it. On the way back, however, as normal, the tour guides were asking for tips. This was a shore-booked excursion as well with Disney Cruise Lines, and they were asking for tips and things, and a few people gave tips and a few people didn't. And then the guy who was running the tour actually went around to all of the seats that he didn't think gave tips and kind of accosted them for tips as well, which we were super uncomfortable with. Tips are obviously optional because we've all paid a lot of money on these excursions, but he was being quite aggressive to some of the people, which put a really nasty taste into our mouths. And you know what? These things can happen anywhere, but it was just the combined things which really made us feel a little bit unsettled and uncomfortable with being in that port. But things have got worse. This was 10 years ago. At the moment, Jamaica is under states of emergency in lots of the different areas, not too far from some of the ports as well, just because of the increased violence there. And it's really horrible violence as well. Murders, shootings, rapes, holding people up in the streets. There's been lots of things across the news with bad things happening to groups of tourists and things like that who get caught up in it. Whilst tourists are not really aimed at on the whole, tourists have been caught up on it. There have been a few occurrences of armed robberies as well with tourists, with people stopping buses and cars and threatening them if they don't give them money and electronics and jewellery and things like that, which is something you really don't want on vacation. So this is really the major reason we didn't get off this time. Some recent things that have happened is a tour group were held up in Jamaica and asked to give all of their money. Tour bus tyres have been slashed as well, and other people have been held at gunpoint for money and booze as well. So these things are happening. Whilst rare, they do happen. And just a few months ago, we had some messages from one of our subscribers who said that they were accosted in port for selling drugs and things, and the guy just wouldn't lead them around. He was trying to show them different areas to go and buy things, but they just weren't interested. Now, when they finally did get rid of this guy, the guy went on to bug them and say that he deserved a tip for showing them around, and he just wouldn't leave them alone. So awful things like that are happening. Now, it's not just us saying these things as well. The US State Department is at a level 3, which asks its citizens to reconsider travelling to Jamaica because of these problems. There's a similar warning in place for the Canadian government and the UK government as well, showing that there's loads of crime and horrible things going on these islands. Obviously, these are just one-offs, but it only takes a one-off for you to be involved in that. And personally, we don't want the stress of that whilst being on a vacation. So this is why we chose to stay on the ship, just because it's a safe haven. Lots of people are getting off. Obviously, on the whole, things don't happen, but we're just not willing to take that risk, and that definitely is a personal decision, really.
So if you do want to get off here at Jamaica, here are some tips to stay safe. So the first thing is we strongly recommend that you take a shore excursion and do not go ashore alone. We do recommend you do it through the cruise line, but if you do use a third-party excursion, excursion company, make sure that they are reputable and they have got lots and lots of good reviews. This way you are a little bit safer as you are with a group of people. Secondly, do not take anything expensive or of value with you. Leave any non-essential items on the ship. We even recommend leaving your phone and expensive jewellery, and if you do need to take some cash, take a small amount. Do not be taking out big wads of cash. If you do have anything of value with you, make sure it is locked away safe in your bag and don't be walking around flashing it around, being all Kim Kardashian with your jewellery and your phone and everything. Now, let's talk about what to do if something does happen on your excursion. If you are approached by anybody, say no firmly and just walk away. And if they don't leave you alone and they are persistent, we recommend going into a nearby store. Finally, we strongly recommend that you have travel insurance, just in case anything does happen and you are covered for all your belongings and anything that'll happen. And obviously, guys, just always be vigilant. Things like this can happen in any port, in any city in the world, so just be sensible. Obviously what happened to us may not happen to you, but we also do recommend that you wear something very plain. You don't wear anything with any political slogans, don't be walking around in your rainbow Crocs, for example, and if you are uncomfortable, just stay on the ship. If you don't want to do something, don't do it.
So we don't want to get political or anything like that. This is not what this video is about. It's just our personal opinion. If you disagree with it, that's absolutely fine. Go ahead and get off in Jamaica. We just wanted to give you our view of it, that's all. So let's stop talking about things negative and have a look what's on board on a sea day on Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas. Let's go eat some food and have a good time, eh? We hate talking about the negative stuff, so let's do something a little bit more light-hearted. More trivia.
Battle of the Divas. Who's going to win, Britney or Whitney?
Scream and shout. Oh, we're doing good, guys. I'm holding on to the knob for moral support. Take your mind out of the gutter.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Guys, we won! Woo! Got one question wrong. Sorry. I have just watched a new Whitney movie, so I think that did help a lot. But look, we won a trophy. The finest quality plastic. I'm going to keep this, pass it down throughout the family. It'll go through the generations. I'm sure we'll see this on Antiques Roadshow in the future.
Oh my gosh, guys, the trivia on this ship is the best. There are so many players and everybody's in such a good mood. I haven't seen anything like it before. It is so much fun. But we won 19 out of 20. How cool is that? That was the funnest trivia ever. It was Britney versus Whitney. So good. One other great thing you can do on a sea day as well is have a look around all of the shops. And there's plenty of them on the ship. There's some really good shops with lots of royal merch as well. Oh, David, look at these. These mugs have been bedazzled. How lovely.
Get your lips around that.
I know, right? A bit of Swarovski crystals. I'm not sure if it is because it's plastic, but lots of shiny, blingy stuff in here anyway.
Lots of tat.
Lots of tat as well. I was saying that it's better import, but it's all made in China. In mass. Oh yeah, they're having a garage sale here on the Royal Promenade. It's quite funny. Everybody's doing a bit of shopping. And there's a guy on the guitar playing as well. It's lovely.
I've got quite a few bits I need to get rid of. Do you think I can pop up and set a table up in the corner?
Set up a store in the middle of the Royal Promenade. So the internet on this ship is actually Starlink, so it's brand new installed, but it's absolutely awful because the infrastructure isn't there. We mentioned it in one of our other videos, but it's just really, really bad. It's super bad. I feel like asking for a refund actually because it's been so poor. But I guess that's what it's like on these old ships if they don't fully update them. It's just one of those things, isn't it? Oh, nothing better than coming onto the balcony and just starting to watch the sunset. It's gorgeous out here. The fresh air, still a bit humid in the Caribbean as well, but so lovely. All ready for dinner. David's just having a shower now. Then we're going to head up to the Italian restaurant, which is an extra pay restaurant, and we're going to give you our brutal review on it and let you know how it compares to Jamie's Italian. It wasn't very nice on Symphony of the Seas. Whilst we're here though, let us know what your favourite specialty restaurant is on board a Royal Caribbean ship. Let us know in the comment section below. And whilst you're there, please hit that subscribe button.
I'm excited for Jamie's No, I'm not excited for Jamie's Italian. I'm excited for Giovanni's Italian. Giovanni's table tonight. We do like Giovanni's, we do like Italian. And I'm going to fill myself with some balls, some gnocchi balls and pasta.
That's my job. Oh,
Well, we've come to Giovanni's table and it looks fantastic so far. We got ourselves a nice big plank full of meat and cheese and pickled vegetables with a side of olive oil and balsamic vinegar and a lovely bread basket. But look how much meat is in front of me. And the cheese, I'm going to go for the blue. I know Ben doesn't like blue, but I like a bit of blue. So I'm going to try the blue. Got my little bread roll here. Very good. Very, very good indeed.
Oh, sorry guys, you caught me with a big old mouthful of meat. Well, who doesn't love a meat board? A whole platter of meat laid before them. Well, apart from David.
And vegetarians.
Vegetarians and vegans. And people who don't eat pig. Oh, yeah. Delightful. Nice strong cheese. Lovely ham as well. Good start to the meal, I think. Oh, I got the burrata salad, which looks absolutely delicious. Very nice. Let's have a little taste. Super good, super clean, super fresh, nice and crunchy. Yummy.
I got the eggplant parmesan for my starter. Nice, big, beautifully presented and hot. Need a little bit of salt, but really tasty.
For my main course, I went for the pasta carbonara. Now, I had this just a few weeks ago on Symphony of the Seas in Jamie's Italian, and it wasn't very good, but I remember it was much better in Giovanni, so let's have a little taste, shall we? Really good, so much better, super creamy, lovely egg on top as well, which runs all over it and creates a lovely sauce. But yeah, really, really good. I'm so happy it's as good as I remember it.
I got the gnocchi and it looks delicious. Super hot, so cheesy. That cheese sauce is delish, but it is quite small, much smaller than I remember it being before, but very, very tasty.
Oh, so we finished dinner at Giovanni's table. Now, the dessert was a little bit disappointing. I went for the cannoli and it was super stale. It just wasn't very nice. Now, for $47.99, then plus tax, so it was $114, it just wasn't worth it. The prices have got too expensive now to make it any better than eating in the main dining room, because like we said, the food in the main dining room on this particular cruise has been great, so we feel like that was a bit of a waste of money. Now, just for context, back in 2019 that was $25 per person, 2020 $35 per person, and now a year and a half later it's $47.99 per person, so that's almost double the price in just 2 years. Service was a bit rubbish, super rushed. We've been in there just over an hour, which is far too quick, so a little bit inconsistent, so slightly disappointing, but feel nice and full. Now let's skip forward a day where we're going to visit one of the darkest and most mysterious places on Earth. Today we're in Grand Cayman, and oh my gosh, the sailing was beautiful. The water was like silk. I haven't seen anything like this since our first ever cruise. We also sailed past Cuba and we were following the MSC Seascape almost all the way here, so we got some really great views of that sailing past us. Good morning, David.
Good morning, cruisers. Just sorting out my diamond jewellery in the safe right here.
All of your diamonds, David.
All my diamonds. No, I'm just making sure I've got some cash for Grand Cayman and our cards and all the usual stuff that you need to take off with you. So going to get this ready and then we're going to go and grab something to eat.
I'm starving. We've missed breakfast, so let's go grab some bites before lunch, eh?
Let's go and scavenge for food on the ship. I'm sure there's food somewhere.
Oh, I forgot that. Grand Cayman is actually a tender port where you have to get a little boat, so we need to go get tickets for that as well, because they are still doing them, even though it's like 11 a.m, so you have to get a ticket to be able to get off. Then the numbers are called in order, so it's pretty simple, but if you don't have a ticket, you're going to have to wait. So we're probably going to have to wait a bit. So we'll grab the ticket first, then get some pre-lunch snacks, because I'm starving. I'm a starving Marvin.
Gonna lunch in the buffet. 11:45 on deck 11. There we go.
11:45. Yeah, it's midday now and it's open, so we're going to go get a proper meal, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We've had a bit of a working morning. We let all the people rush off the ship, queuing to get off. Let them all go because we're here till 5 o'clock, so we've got plenty of time in Grand Cayman. 11. Let's go for some food first. Hopefully it's very quiet.
It is, I can see it is. Oh, I'm so excited, David. Honestly, you think I'd never been fed before? I mean, it is going to be the first thing I've ate today, but starving. It looks very quiet indeed. It's the great thing about days in port. The ship tends to be very, very quiet indeed. So let's go fill our boots, as we say in the UK. Do you know what? When the buffet isn't that busy, it's actually pretty damn nice. And I've got to say, so far, we've been on this cruise 3 or 4 days now. The food in general, both in the buffet and the main dining rooms, is so superior to that of our Symphony of the Seas cruise last month. As far as the buffet selection goes, there's plenty, including a bread station, lots of hot dishes and comfort foods. Then there's also a carvery meat station as well. Lots of Italian foods, pastas, stews, lasagna. You've got your meats and vegetables, and there's also cheeses and a continental section as well. And also a big salad station, so you can pick what you want. And of course, there's going to be an American section with favourites like burgers, hot dogs, chicken tenders and fries, as well as mac and cheese. And the dessert selection today was really impressive, with lots of really good cakes and brownies and different types of desserts. But there's also something called fruit, if you fancy something a little bit more healthy.
So today I decided to throw caution to the wind and actually go for something different. I usually just get a salad, but I thought it looked so good. Everything looked really beautifully presented and tasty, so I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna dig in and gonna go wild. So I got a little selection. Got the mac and cheese, I went for a frittata and some potatoes gratin with a couple of bits of vegetables to make it look colourful. Let's try this. I think I'm a mac and cheese convert because that is actually delicious and it tastes like real cheese, not like the fake cheese that you get on Disney. Do you know, the plastic mac and cheese that Ben loves? That is not for me. Potatoes gratin, very good as well. The vegetables are okay, they taste like vegetables. I did nearly break a tooth on the carrots, but you know, what can you do?
Yeah, I went for a full-on smorgasbord of different foods. Oh my gosh, I've got lasagna, fries, mac and cheese, potato gratin, chicken. Well, close my curtains and call me a window because that is wonderful. Wonderful. So hot and fresh, it's really good. This is again the great thing about coming here on a day when it's quiet. It's magnificent. The potato gratin is like making my mouth water. It is so delicious, so hot. Geez, David, you're right. What are these blooming carrots made out of? Kevlar? I think they'd take a bullet for the president and not get through. Holy moly. Oh, it's so quiet as well. I've got nobody judging me around, watching me what I eat either, so I'm letting myself loose. It's really bad. I need to control myself.
It's dessert time, and the dessert selection looks very good as well. There's quite a few things I've not seen before. I went for the blueberry pie. Now, I do love a good pie, and this looks excellent. The good pie, it's missing cream, custard, or ice cream. You cannot have a crumble pie without any of them.
I'm calling it, David, because we didn't have breakfast. This is officially breakfast dessert time. Also got a shoe bun. Obviously, guys, it's in bowl form. I haven't had anything in bowl form this meal. This is going to be a first. Let's see what surprises it has inside for me, eh? Ooh, matron. It's got chocolate inside. I was expecting cream. That is bloomin' gorgeous. So that's lunch over and done with. Let's go downstairs and get a tender off the ship. Really excited for this. Let's go explore some of Grand Cayman. Oh, so we've came down. We don't actually need a ticket tender. This is one of the great things about staying on a little bit longer, letting all the crowds get off, then you can literally just walk off the ship, which is fantastic. Well, not actually walk off the ship because you'll end up in water on this one, but walk onto a tender.
Gangway exit here. Where is it?
I think it means downstairs, David. We're on the tender. Oh my gosh, holy smokes, look at the colour of that water. Does it get any more beautiful? You get some fantastic views of the ship as well. This is why tendering is so fun. It's a bit of a long-winded process, especially at the beginning, but if you wait like us, it's great. Right, land ahoy, let's go.
It should just be a little 2-minute ride over to the shore, and usually it's not that bumpy as well, but if you do get very seasick, if you're very prone to that, we do suggest maybe popping a bone-eye, popping a tablet, or maybe get the bands as well, just because sometimes it can be a little bit like a roller coaster, but today it looks crystal clear and flat.
So that just took a few minutes. We've been to this port a few times, as with any port, diamond shops, lots of tat and all that sort of things. We're just going to grab a taxi. Remember to negotiate and bargain, and have a look online before you come to see how much on average taxis are. You don't want to be ripped off. All of the Caribbean islands and Mexico accept US dollars, so that's the currency you need to take. Cool, so we've done our negotiation and we're heading off to our first destination. Let's see what this is like, eh? Oh my God, what is this place? Welcome to hell. Yes, you heard me right. We have actually came to hell on our cruise. Oh my gosh, how funny is this? So it's about a 20-minute drive from the port. We paid $14 each for a return, which was pretty good in our opinion. The traffic is quite bad here. But what an unusual place. Now it's called hell because of its very unusual limestone formations, which look a little bit hellish. Now this whole site is about half the size of a football field big, so it's huge. And there's lots of little devils and things that are carved out into the very unusual landscape. It's called hell because it really resembles what people think hell would be. There's a gift shop as well, which is really funny, but oh my gosh, this is the most unusual place in the Caribbean. I mean, I have never seen anything that looks like this before. So welcome everybody, welcome to hell. A lot of people that choose not to watch us anymore, or some of the comments we've had in the past, will probably be very happy to see both Ben and David in hell.
I wonder what they've got in store for us in the gift shop in hell. I do love a good gift shop, so I'm very excited that hell has one.
It literally is half the experience, David, because there is just a field of rock and then a gift shop, that's about it. So once you've been here, you can say you've been here pretty quick. You don't need very long. 20 minutes or so is absolutely fine. Who is this dude?
Welcome to hell. I don't know who this dude is. He's very short, or I'm very tall.
He's looking a little bit horny.
We need to check if this is actually somebody. Am I just putting my arms around somebody that's like a bit controversial?
Look guys, you can also spend $75 and get this free hell shooter. Treat yourself.
So just note that hell doesn't open on Saturdays, but it does open on Sundays.
Treat yourself, David.
It's a little bit ironic that, isn't it? Shall we go in and let's hope that hell has air conditioning? It's very bright and colourful in hell. I was expecting it to be darker and a lot more sinister.
Guys, this shop is so funny. Loads of t-shirts with lots of very funny slogans, magnets and little gifts as well. It's great. It's great to see you've been to hell before. I'm not sure many people can say that and come back alive and come back onto earth, as we say. Looking for a hellish t-shirt, David?
I am. The tackier the better, I think. This is what I'm looking for. It's nice to know hell has tie-dye.
So, I did spot that guy inside. He appears to be the owner of the shop. How funny is that?
Love it. When I bought my items, the girl said, have a hell of a great day.
It's funny.
I got some hell tat, guys. I had to do it. You have to get all your bits hell. This is what you come here for. Got a hell postcard, hell magnet. But the cool thing is, you can actually post from here, so you can buy a stamp and send a postcard straight from hell.
So there's lots of things to do here on Grand Cayman. You can go see the stingrays and swim with them as well, which is one of the most unique things. There's lots of snorkeling opportunities as well. You can do island tours, jet skiing. The waters here are very lovely as well. And there's somewhere called Starfish Point as well. So we're back at the cruise port. Do you want to know a little secret, guys? I actually think that this is more hell than the hell we've just been to. There are huge lines to get back on the ship. This is one of the downsides of being a tender port. And it's just so busy, and all of these shops just sell so much tat, which you can get everywhere. Save your money and buy some good stuff elsewhere.
Finally getting on our tender. Now there is a few ships in, and there is 2 Royal Caribbean, so make sure you are in the correct line and you're going back to the correct ship. Otherwise you'll have a little bit of a journey. But yeah, been to hell and back, feeling a little bit hot and sweaty now.
And the best thing after coming back from port is coming into your freezing cold, lovely clean cabin. Oh, it is nice. And our cabin is clean now. So that we had the problem on our last vlog, which is really nice as well. It's spotless, which is really appreciated. Oh, look, we've got a cute little doggy. It looks like a sausage dog, like a dachshund. It's so cute. He's got David's glasses on as well. That's adorable. So we are all dressed and ready for this evening, and we're just leaving Grand Cayman. Goodbye. Thank you for a lovely day in hell. I think we're going to go upstairs and have a look what there is to do up there.
Let's play a little bit of mini golf. Ben versus David, back here again. Woo!
Right, come on, let's do this. Ooh, legitimately, where did it go?
Take a step.
What's there? What?
In she goes.
That's what she said. But there's loads of kids running around like bloody maniacs. They kept running across the course, so we gave up and we came to have a look at this beautiful view instead. Wow, it is gorgeous. The water looks like glass again, and the sun's going down as we sail away from Grand Cayman. It's pretty spectacular. This is what cruising is all about. This is my favourite view in the world. And the noise of the wake as well. It's just, oh, bliss. Wow, just look at this behind us. Absolutely blooming spectacular. The light tonight is on point. It really is. You do get the best sunsets at sea, we always say it. And tonight is a good one. It's a good sunset.
That is absolutely spectacular. Big floral shirt for Caribbean night. So there's usually a formal night, which isn't that formal anymore. It's really just sort of like a little bit of a fancier dress, a bit of a fancier night. And there's a Caribbean night on every cruise, so don't forget to pack accordingly. And a 70s night as well. Gosh, there's lots of themes on Royal, isn't there?
So we're going to go for dinner now, and we're going to let you know what it's like afterwards, because we are seated very, very closely to other people, so we don't want to disturb their dinner. So we'll let you know everything, what it's like. We'll give you our brutal opinion on the food, as usual. Wow, so that was really fantastic. Really, really good meal for Caribbean night. Not that I went with that many Caribbean type foods, but it was really fantastic. I enjoyed it so much. Went for the Asian pork bao buns for starters, which were freaking-licious. Really hot as well. Then I went for the French onion soup. Not particularly Caribbean-y. And then for my main course, I went for a curry and then a pineapple cake for dessert. And it was all very delicious and lovely. So much better than it was on Symphony of the Seas just a few weeks ago. The service as well has been really, really good. Super impressed. Feels like a different company compared to Symphony of the Seas. It's so weird how you can have the same menu and it be so different. We're heading for a fun show now. We're going to head downstairs to Studio B. That's the ice skating arena on board. I know, an ice skating arena on a moving vessel. Let's go see the show.
Yeah, the ice skating show was fantastic.
Just got to say a huge thank you to our patrons. You guys are amazing. In return, we give you loads of extras, like behind the scenes episodes, extra videos, early access to our videos, ad-free access to our videos, as well as much, much more. You can find out about becoming a patron in the comment section below.
Now, if you want to see more about the food and particularly the brand new menus, watch this video right here, where we try nearly every single one of the brand new Royal Caribbean menus recently on Symphony of the Seas. That's it till next time. Happy cruising.